At some point of time, I realized as a surgeon that if I had to do more than what I'm doing currently at that point of time, it has to come from my spirit. It cannot come from my body or my mind. There is an apparent race out there, and that race, if you run that race, then you won't do justice to your patients. You will not be won't be taking the right direction. And the right direction is the direction where the patients benefit. And everything else is a wrong direction. Everybody in the future must be conscious of their mind, and they must recognize that it is at play. And the only person who is the biggest enemy to you is you or your mind yourself.
Welcome to today's episode where we explore the power of meditation and self realization. Let's welcome Dr. Sarfaraz Baig, a renowned hernia surgeon from Kolkata who is also a multifaceted artist. He dances, he sings, and he articulates his thoughts through amazing poetries. Dr. Baig shares with us about his journey of meditation, self realization, and inner peace, and how this has helped him free from the tangles of career rat race and has also helped him empower himself to attain much bigger heights in his career and as well as his personal life. So let's meet Dr. Sarfaraz. MedTalks presents Scrubbing In Stories that Make a Doctor. Hello, Dr. Sarfaraz. Welcome to MedTalks presents Scrubbing In.
Hi, Roma. It's a pleasure.
Lovely, and it's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank
And I think the energy that you have, you've been like always on your toes, running around, is very contagious.
I'm glad.
So yeah, lovely. And what's the source of your energy? How do you keep going?
Yeah, I think that's a good question to begin a conversation with me. Many of my friends who know me very well, they know that I am a very spiritual person.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that I am not only my body and my mind, but there's a third part of me, which is my spirit. And I sort of get connected to it every morning when I wake up. I sit and meditate for about an hour, and I get supercharged. That's my charging system. It's like my mobile getting into the charger. So my sitting 1 hour completely relaxed, alone, in silence and in darkness is my supercharge.
That's your secret. And since how long have you been practicing meditation?
So it's been now good 5 to 6 years. I was a very anxious person, pretty ambitious. And I read somewhere that if you want to improve your spirit, you have to weaken your ambition. So that statement was so profound that I went back and thought about how to do it, read and understood a lot of things. And at some point of time, I realized as a surgeon that if I had to do more than what I'm doing currently at that point of time, it has to come from my spirit. It cannot come from my body or my mind. So how did that begin? Like it's a long journey, 5 years. Can you walk us through? How was that? So sometime back about, I started my surgical career in 2000. And by the time I was in 2010, I could realize that I had walked this path, which we call career. And I was building now what we call career building. And the steps that I took were about learning, which was great. But at the same time, knowingly or unknowingly, there was a race. And a virtual race that I was participating in. I had to edge out others. I was trying to talk smarter than others, being cleverer than others, and never ending. Never ending. This was a sense of accomplishment. I was doing so many things, and every accomplishment did only one thing. It made me go for the next one, right. And then again the next one, till I became very anxious and restless. I wouldn't wake up a happy man, and at that point of time, I realized that something needs to be done to improve my quality of life. I had the money. I was making good money for myself, for my children, for my family. I was having a good house. I had a good vehicle. I had good friends and everything, reputation. But there was a hollowness. And I'm not saying this because a lot of these things have been written already in the books of motivation, but I'm just saying exactly as it happened to me. And I want to pass on this story and my own story, my message to the people who are going to follow me and people who are there as right now in their 30s and their early 40s, that as surgeons, and as probably in any career, you can get trapped into this race without your knowledge. And that's the dangerous part. When you do not know what disease you have, That's the most dangerous disease you can have.
Right.
And not knowing that your spirit is getting murdered at the hands of your mind is something that we all need to acknowledge and do something about. So I started my, it was just one morning I decided I have to wake up. I was restless sleeping, and I said, I have enough cases in the day. I have everything. And still there is this issue of not being at the moment, being so anxious. So I walked out and I went to the park, and I was walking in the park, and suddenly just a spark of thought came to in my mind that in this city, in this park, where there are hundreds of people and everybody's walking, and in this park is just a minuscule in the city, and this city is a minuscule in this world, and this world is a minuscule in this cosmos. Yes. And I am so troubled about my own small little career.
Oh my God. What a realization.
And in that day I said, I'm not going to get angry at my staff. I'm not going to go after getting more cases. I'm not going to do anything that builds a so-called career. I'm just going to calm myself down, quieten my mind, and see where I go to. It was a huge leap of faith, but I am glad I did it. I am glad that I became from a striver to somebody who thinks that, okay, I have arrived at some point of time. I'm happy with what I have. I could stay at the moment. I wasn't regretting about the past. I wasn't anxious about the future. And it took time. It wasn't an easy journey. I will not say it was easy. And I don't think that I have overcome any of my older anxieties. I can only say I'm a work in progress. And the thing is that I can handle failures, the so-called failures, better. Okay. I can handle people's remarks better. I can handle my mind better. I know that it is judging all the time. Everything that is happening around me, which seems to be negative, is only created by my mind. Nothing is going wrong in this world. It's just my impression that is going wrong. So I'm able to work on myself. And that self work has been what the meditation has given me, the realization. So paradoxically, I've done much better in the last 6 years than I did in the first 18.
You're more at peace. You're more aware of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant. And I think that's something everyone should. Even I've been trying, but it's like, as you said, baby steps.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to bring your mind back to
the present moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's always all over the place.
Yes.
And like how you said, it is something that's work in progress.
It is.
So yeah, wonderful. I mean, it's something, I think it's a beautiful takeaway, because as you said, that has in fact helped you grow. Yeah. In fact, helped you become a better person.
Yes.
So also I wanted to know what is that growth that you have achieved.
So in the last, I think I always reflected back as to what has happened. Am I becoming lazier because I don't have an ambition? Am I becoming less productive? Or I do not have the zeal of building something in the future because now I've become so calm and content?
Is age playing the prank?
Is age playing a prank, or is my mind again doing something silly to me without my realization? And here's the thing. So the proof of the pudding is in eating it. In the last 6 years, I have written 25 papers which have got published, and about 6-7 of them are original articles. And I'll compare that with my first 18 years. Then I have written 2 books, and one of the books which I've edited has chapters contributed by stalwarts in hernia surgery around the world. And it all happens because now I know that I can approach people, and they oblige. The people are kind. It was just my impression.
Yes.
So when you approach people, kind people, accept it, and they actually oblige you. So that has happened. And I have also I'm the secretary to the Hernia Society of India. That's because of the love and affection of people who think that I am fit for the job. I was the treasurer for the Obesity Surgical Society of India. And I am the vice president in the Indian Association of Gastroendosurgeons. So what's happening here? I am on one hand trying to be calm and quiet and probably meditating 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. I'm making it a 22 hours a day job, uh, but I'm becoming more productive. First 18 years, I produced 4 case reports, 1 paper. That was my output, and one book. But now I have 2 books and so many publications and so many posts, and my work has grown. I do have enough work on my day. I'm working the whole day. So 9 to 4, 5, I'm working. So I think it's a paradox. I don't know how to explain it. And I'm sure people who have walked this path will understand that the quieter you become, the more productive you are. And that's the trick. It's difficult to let people, I can't describe water to you, but if I allowed you to taste it, you would tell me how water tastes. It's similar. If it's such an experiential thing, that as soon as you start becoming calmer, you're doing nothing when you're meditating, you're just bringing yourself back to the moment, and then it gives you such a sharp focus. Yes. And it gives you so much of clarity, and then clarity gives you purpose, and then purpose brings you back into being a productive human being.
So I think it's more like the mental fitness that you have targeted, and that's really paid off. In fact, paid off in a very good way. But like how you said, in all these years, you've been working way more at a much better state and peace of mind. Can you explain more about your work? As in, like, there's so many areas that you're working on, with the latest being in the robotics. So that's where I even want to get to. But to get there to the robotic surgery, we want to understand a little bit of the pre-work before that, what actually drove you to get to that.
So I've been a laparoscopic surgeon since the very beginning of my career. I adopted it very early. I realized that it's good to impart less pain to the patient. So that was there. And with that, I could obviously do the biliary surgery, hiatal surgery, cancer surgery, and hernia surgery, and bariatric surgery. Now, all these surgeries that I do have a lot of minimal access to it.
Yes.
And then when robotic came in 2018, I got my license, but I didn't have access to the robot because my hospital didn't have one. So I joined another hospital, and then COVID struck. And we sat without the robot for about 2.5, 3 years. And then my hospital bought it recently, and I have been at the robot. I'm very enthusiastic about it. I think anything which comes as a technology is a new thing. The first thing is that many times you get into it because of the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And we really do not know whether it's really helpful or not. In the past, I've used a lot of contraptions and gadgets which have not worked. Right. Something for anal fistula, I don't want to mention the name, but yeah, I've used things which have not worked.
Right.
And the robot is one of those things that I have tried, and I have realized that it is helpful for certain patients. Definitely. For example, if I'm doing a hernia surgery and I have to do a lot of suturing at the roof, closing big defects, yes, I would love to have a robot to help me.
Right.
And this also comes from the same spiritual side that I have. I keep on fueling myself. You see, it's very easy for a surgeon to say, I have reached this place, I don't want to learn anything new. Because that's not good.
That's your expertise. And
I'm already good with this. Why do I need a robot? It's just a frill. I could say that, and I probably have said that in my mind. But I've told my mind also, let me try it first, and then come to this verdict.
Right.
So when I've tried, I'm now realizing I'm in that, again, work in progress mode. So I've realized it's going to help me in certain areas. But when it's going to help me, it's going to help my patients as well.
Right.
So I'm in the process of evaluating this in various fields of mine, bariatrics, hernia, colorectal work, the cancer work, so the hiatal work. I'm evaluating it, but I have started with the hernia, and I've seen it really helps in many, many situations. So this is the area where it has helped me the most. Right. So that's the area. But again, going back, it's about being a learner and a student all your life.
Right. And technology is going to keep coming.
It is going to keep
There's
keep
always
coming.
going to be some evolution, something new.
Yes.
Like the AI coming in now.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is great as long as we don't lose our natural intelligence, isn't it? So yeah, I read this book probably you've also read the book on by Yuval Harari, and he's mentioned how artificial intelligence is going to take our jobs in the 21st century, and how surgeons are probably going to go out of business.
Right.
So, yeah, AI is that kind of a thing. But I still feel that I have a huge trust in the universe. There's a big line which motivates me. If it says something like this: do you think you can take over the universe and improve on it? I don't think so. That's the quote. And I think whenever we think that, okay, the universe is going the wrong direction, there's so much of war, there's this artificial intelligence, children are not respecting their parents, the mobile phone is taking away the human touch. I think all of that will be all right if you give it time. There's a natural correction going on in this universe. There's an asteroid out there, but believe it, the planet Earth is going to miss it by miles. It's just a trust. You have to trust the universe is doing everything right.
Right.
And I think this artificial intelligence, well, good. Computers came and people thought they'll lose their jobs. It had its place. It has its place.
Yes.
And I'm sure we will also have artificial intelligence, but natural intelligence will stay.
Nothing's going to overpower that. So talking about that, the future, you have two sons. And one of them is pursuing healthcare, medicine, doctor.
Yes.
The other one's into technology.
Yes.
That's a very unique combination, to say so.
Yeah.
So you have sort of, got the feel of both.
Yeah.
Or what do you say about the generation that's coming up, for the other doctors? Because there's always a dilemma.
Yeah.
Was it not there for you, or how did you decide on it?
So my elder son wanted to be an actor. So when he was in class 11, my father, he told my son, that's his grandson, he said, no, don't be an actor. Be a doctor, a surgeon like your father, like my son. And I said, Sahil, though you don't have to follow that, right? I am telling you, if it's your passion, just do it. If you want to be an actor, be an actor. It's all right. And he was hell-bent that he'll be an actor. And also I felt that our profession is challenging. There's no doubt about it. A surgical career is a challenging career, not only because of the challenge, the regular updation, but also I think there's a lot of complaints, and not everybody's going to be happy with you, with your outcome, and it's an inevitable part of your career, of your job. So I told Sahil, well, if you want to pursue, let's do it. Let's go to New York School of Acting and let's go and visit there. So he went there. And we sat with another guy, and the other guy who was from New York School of Acting, he told Sahil how difficult the profession is.
So he earlier thought the grass was greener, but you actually...
So then when we came back and he became about 3 to 4 months, he said, no, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a surgeon. And now he's going to finish his MBBS, his graduation next year. So hopefully we'll allow him to pursue whatever he wants to from there. He does seem to be interested in surgery. I think we all influence our children too much. But again, it's all right. I mean, I do think it's a challenging profession, and the challenges keep growing every day. But at the same time, if you enjoy doing what you do, then it's not work at all, isn't it?
True. Absolutely.
Then it becomes your life.
Yeah.
So I think he'll find his way. And similarly, my younger one, both of them are totally different. The elder one is more emotional. The younger one is more stoic, very cold, matter of fact, and very businesslike. And the younger one has, it's all about technology.
Right.
It's all about don't touch me.
Okay.
I'm good. I can take care of myself. I know what I want. And you know what? You guys are not really in my generation. You don't know what I'm talking about. So I think both the boys will find their own way.
Okay.
So we won't be around all the time, but I'm sure they will find their way.
All right. So I think the takeaway is that just let them go, explore, and pick what they want to do.
Yeah, trust the universe.
Yes, absolutely. Again,
Yeah.
Lovely. So that's great to know. But so even for the future generation is coming up in terms of the students or the residents who are currently pursuing, or the doctors who are just embarking into the journey of surgery, and particularly bariatric, or what do you think is the next catch? As we talked about the AI, which you are so
um, so happily accepting and always saying that no harm trying it. What do you think is the next catch?
I think the next generation is very talented. I'm out here in this conference. There are surgeons who are 10, 15 years younger to me, and they're doing a brilliant job already. So they are getting to the skill levels that we took 2 decades to get there, and they can do it in 1 decade. I think that's fantastic. So I have an enormous trust in the younger generation. And they will look at it from many perspectives that we did not know how to look at. And plenty of good things are going to happen. Plenty of good things are going to happen. The only area of concern, I don't have a mind which is negative, but I think the only area of concern is something that I learned from my life and from my own mind, is that there is an apparent race out there. And that race, if you run that race, then you won't do justice to your patients. You will not be won't be taking the right direction. And the right direction is the direction where the patients benefit. And everything else is a wrong direction. So if you just keep one thing in mind, that is going to work. And I think that this generation is good. They are fantastic with their skills, their learning power, their marketing skills, their presentation, the practicality of it, the distancing from the misfortunes which can happen during your career. But at the same time, they without their knowledge, they can be in a race, and that is going to be harmful. So just acknowledging, recognizing, and staying away from that race is important.
Beautiful. So just taking care of your emotional well-being and health is just as important as
absolutely
taking care of your career.
Yeah, skill-wise, they will do well. I mean, I have no qualms in saying that they're going to beat a lot of us who will be taken so much of time to reach to these kind of skills. They will reach there faster. They will get better mentors. They will be better mentors to others as well. This baton will pass in a right way, and things are definitely brighter in the future as far as technology, technique is concerned. We must, everybody in the future must be conscious of their mind, and they must recognize that it is at play. And the only person who is the biggest enemy to you is you or your mind yourself. So just staying away from that is an important message I would like to transmit to all my surgeons who come after me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's beautifully articulated. So at the close of it, I mean, after knowing so much about it, we want to know the fun part of Dr. Sarfaraz. So
I like to dance.
And then
I like to sing.
I'm sure you love reading, because the way you have been.
I love reading.
Yes.
And I write a lot of poetry. I haven't ever been able to publish it despite my friends asking me to. I write both in English and Urdu. And I have this very bad habit of broadcasting it to my friends.
Can we get a gist of it?
So they are very polite and kind to me. They always say, fantastic, very well written. And I know this, some of them might not be saying honestly, but I do write, and I like writing. I like expressing this part of me, the other side of me, through this. I write a lot of medical stuff, and I review a lot of scientific literature. It makes me cold, because I have to be very non-emotional when I'm assessing medical literature. At the same time, the other side, which likes to sing, which likes to dance, and which likes to write poetry, I want to keep it alive. That's the one which is coming directly from the spirit. So I want to keep that alive and kicking. And probably in the evening, you'll see me dancing.
Oh, lovely. Awesome. I look forward to that. So at the close of it, we have some really quick rapid fire questions for you. We'll start with that. As you said, you love music, movie, dancing.
Yeah.
The first question I have for you is any medical filmy moment, something you may have watched in the movies and you feel, ye kya chala raha hai? This is irrelevant. This is not possible medically.
Oh, there are some movies which show doctors in very poor light. That the patient is dead and they're still thumping the chest and they're going to mint money. I just want to tell the audience out there, it never happens like that. Please, please, please don't accept this from the movies. They are not right at all.
So true.
Nobody would do it.
So true. So true. Next one. 4 most frequent words you use in your routine.
I'm okay. I'm fine. You guys are good. You're doing a good job. All is well.
Lovely, all positive affirmations. Beautiful. If you were to swap roles with any other specialty in medicine for a day, which one would that be?
Psychiatry.
Lovely. I can see why. So your source of constant energy and motion, as we talked, of course, I'm sure it must be the power,
silence.
the silence.
Rumi, silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation.
Agreed. 5 things that you pack for your in your bag for your conferences.
Oh, but the shaving kit has to come in. One morning walk shoe has to come in. And I think my laptop has to go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I also carry my hard disk just in case somebody says, this guy hasn't come and you have to make a presentation in the last moment. So I carry
You're
that.
always ready for it.
Always ready.
Super. And last one, a closing quote. Instead for you, I think it should be something that you have written that we can maybe know.
Okay. If you just give me a second, I can probably. Something which I probably wrote very recently.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple, just about 5 paras, and which probably encompasses things that I've said in this show. And it's titled My Invisible Part.
Mm-hmm.
I have an invisible part that you cannot see. But without it, I'm not me. That part is what beats my heart, grows my body, every morning makes me start. It comforts me when I'm down, it lifts me up in thoughts when I drown. It expands my chest when I'm afraid. When I'm burnt, it provides a cool shade. That part of me loves everyone. It forgives easily, it offends no one. It responds only when I talk to it. It enters only when I admit. Strange and pleasant is this part of me. When I'm with it, I am carefree.
Beautiful. Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. We had such amazing insights and I loved talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Not much medical about this entire show.
That's fine.
But I'm glad you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, there's so much, there's huge takeaway from this.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Roma. Thank you very much for having me here.